Okay, we're gonna be doing something a bit differently here. We got a tier list of For Honor characters, and if you can tell by these sections right here, we're going to be judging them based on the type of person you are. So if you play a certain type of character, they're gonna be going in these categories. I guess I could sort of explain them entirely. No Real Opinion kind of works as like a double-edged sword, as like either no real opinion or 50-50, meaning you're either a really cool person that's advised of the function, or you're an asshole. All right. Either no in between. Either that, or I have no real opinion on you. Like, say, for example, I take Sohei, right? This is not where he's going to go in the actual list, but let's say, for my personal feelings, I have no real opinion, or I think that 50% of people that play Sohei are bad people, and 50% of people that play are asshole. He would go here. But without further ado, let us go on with the tier list. Starting off with Warden. Warden is actually a pretty fair character, and you'd have to try extremely hard to be toxic with him. I think Warden is one of the most balanced characters in the entire game. You have to be at least somewhat of a good person to play such a fair character in this stage of the game. In this stage of like For Honor's competitive history. You have to be a somewhat decent human being to actually play him. Next up we got Conqueror. He falls into a similar boat of Warden, where like his kit is extremely simple and fair. But the difference between him and Warden is that the people that play him, the people that play Conqueror, are actually really bad people in my opinion. They're not toxic or like in the a-hole category, but they're not the best people in the world. I'm gonna be honest with you. You have to be a little bit annoying to toxic if you play Conqueror. All right, his kit is fine, but the people who play him, I think, push him down to annoying. Peacekeeper, I think you have to be an annoying person to play Peacekeeper. I'm not gonna lie to you. Peacekeeper, right, is such a how do I say this? They're like gnats or mosquitoes. They exist. If they bite you or if they touch you, you have a chance of getting a life-threatening disease, and you don't want to be around them. All right, I think they go in annoying category, not necessarily toxic or asshole tier, but they're definitely annoying. They're people who play Peacekeeper are not, in my opinion, the best people to be around, if I'm being honest with you. Lawbringer players, I'm going to be real with you. They're either in solid person or no real opinion. After the nerf that every single time he gets a light parry, he no longer gets almost 30% off or 30 damage off of a light parry, I'd say they're pretty whatever. They would be like toxic or annoying if you could still get like 30% off, but now they get only like what? 24% off of a light parry. So you still have to play Lawbringer extremely defensive if you want to use him to his full extent. And for that reason, I think he's actually I think he's in no real opinion, to be honest. I think his kit and the people that play him are actually kind of decent people. So he goes here. Now Raider. I believe this is Raider, right? Not Warlord. Yeah, this is Raider. Raiders, I ain't gonna lie, they might be toxic, but I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people who play Raider don't really play this game with their brain, which I'm not saying is a good or bad thing, to be fair, but it's something to notice, all right? But because of that, I think I'm going to put them in, like, no real opinion. I mean, if you're not playing with your brain, are you really a bad or good person? Yeah, we'll put them in no real opinion for now until I think about it later. Warlords, I think you guys are cool people. I'm not going to lie to you. Again, Warlord is similar to Warden in the simple fact that, like, both of their kits are extremely simple, and therefore it is hard to abuse them. But even if you do try to abuse it, you're not really abusing much besides like an undodgeable and like a mid as hell bash, by the way. Warlord is the most basic out of the Vikings and one of the most basic characters in the entire game, so it's kind of hard to be toxic with him. Zerx, I think you guys are solid people. I think, well, all that being said about Berserker, he's kind of like a more balanced assassin. He's definitely one of the most balanced assassins we've ever had and that we currently have in the game right now. I want to say you're a solid guy, though, all right? The deflects that a lot of Zerk players do are actually kind of swag, and I'd put them in, like, cool person. But I don't know, there's just something about that zone attack that kind of does not want me to put them in cool person or invite to the function, if that makes sense. So, yeah, Berserker's going in solid guy for now. Yeah, similar to Raider players, I think Valkyrie players don't actually have brains, because all they really do is either spam zone or light attack into sweep. And when you face this in a 4v4, this is literally like cancer to play against. I'm not gonna lie to you. So you know what? I think I'm gonna drop him in annoying. Like right there, I think is fine. Kensei, you guys are cool people. Kensei players are cool people. Again, because he's a Vanguard, because he's like a year 1 hero, he falls under that that preset of just being an overall fair person, and people who play Kensei are not toxic at all. Their drip is good. Their what's it called, is fine. There's nothing wrong with a Kensei player, right? There really isn't. Shugoki, I'm not gonna lie, you have to be a little toxic to play a character like Shugoki. A character with extremely big ass hitboxes and someone who has a lot of good stuff in their kit. Their feats are really good. His Demon's Embrace, where he hugs people and gets health, is extremely funny, and also a little toxic if you have if you're playing with 2 or 3 other Shugoki on your team. Yeah, you have to be a little toxic to play Shugoki. I'm not gonna lie to you. Funny ass character, but you still have to be a little toxic to play somebody like him. Orochi, I'm not gonna lie to you. If you play him in 4s, you're an asshole, but if you play him in 1s, you're probably toxic. But being honest with you, you kind of have to be a bad person to play this character. And the reason why I say that is because his kit is very much Roach-like. That's the reason why people call him the Roach half the time, alright? I mean, he's extremely fast. You can, dodge almost out of everything. He has, no end lag on half of his attacks. So during team fights, it's literally, one of the most annoying things to play against. The Storm Rush / the kick mix-up, there's just something about that just screams bad person. And you know what? Going right next to Orochi and Asshole tier, we're putting Nobushi. I think this is self-explanatory. If you play Nobushi in 4s, you're not a good person. But even in 1s, if you play Nobushi, you're not a good person. I know she's not that good of a goddamn character if you know how to counter light spam. But I'm not. I'm not a good player, and therefore I don't know how to counter light spam, so I don't know how to avoid this character. The fact that, you land 3 light attacks on your opponent, and boom, there goes half their health bar because of bleed damage, just screams, I'm not a good person, and I wish death upon you and your family. That's just me, though, alright? That's just me. But yeah, you cannot be a good person if you play Nobushi, in my opinion. And next up, we have Centurion, and this is definitely biased on my end, but I think Centurions are good people / invited to the function. Centurion is a terrible 4v4 Dominion character, but in 1s, he's solid. He's a very solid character. I'd say he's actually one of the more balanced characters we got in the game right now, alright? There's nothing unfair about Centurion besides getting jumped by Centurion. And even then, he's not a good anti-gank character, so you know what? He's low-key invited to the function. Yeah, I'd say Centurion is invited to the function. He's a very fair character in my opinion. Nothing about his kit screams, I want your family dead. Alright? Nothing about Centurion's kit, in my opinion, screams, I hate you, nigga, die. I'm gonna be real with you. He is a very fair character with a very fair moveset. So, boom, there he goes. Yeah, man, I don't know. Iframes on your dodge attacks just screams, I hate your family, dude. I don't know. Gladiator, I'm gonna be real with you. You guys are a bit annoying. Mostly, though, because you guys have, 3 dodge attacks, and, that doesn't make you cool, alright? Throwing out a dodge attack whenever you're threatened by a bash, you're not cool, or interesting, or funny, alright? That shit's annoying, alright? Random ass dodge attacks in neutral really make this character annoying as hell to play against. Now, granted, they're extremely easy to play around. You just gotta dodge and then guard break, because his bashes are guard breakable. But for people that play without a brain that play against this character, this is the worst. This is the biggest nightmare in the game to play against. His deflects are cool, but besides that, if you play him, you're probably an annoying person. Highlander. Part of me wants to say, you know what? No, he's going in no real opinion, and you know what? I'm gonna change it to make it more easier to say. But no real opinion / 50/50. Because I know a lot of Highlander players that are really cool people, but I also know a lot of Highlander players that are pieces of human scum. Alright? And Highlander, in my opinion, you could either fall into one of 2 of those categories. Highlander is so different to play compared to, the rest of the roster that don't have combat stances. Like, him, Medjay, and, I guess, who else has different combat stances? Is that it? It's just Medjay and Highlander that have 2 different combat stances? That's crazy, huh? Like I said, though, Highlander is one of, 2 characters that play extremely differently from other people. So, you kind of have to either play him extremely annoyingly and oppressive, or swag as hell to have amazing reads. Highlander is swag, though, I'd say, more times than not. So, you know what? I might drag you up the solid guy for that one. Shaman, The thing with Shaman, right, is that I honestly see her going in any one of these categories. I can see her in solid guy, I can see her in cool person, I can see her annoying and toxic, or asshole / invite to the function, or even no real opinion on, because I don't think Shamans or a lot of Shaman players play the exact same. All right, they're gonna use their zone attack, they're gonna make you bleed, they're gonna bite you and get some health back, they're gonna do all the stuff, but they're all gonna do it at varying difficulties, or not varying difficulties, but at varying times. They're all gonna do that, but it just depends on the frequency of how they do it. I think they're similar to Peacekeepers though in annoyance. So yeah, I'll put Shaman there. Aramusha, I have no real, let me be real with you, I don't think I have a real opinion on Aramusha. He's like whatever, you know, like they're cool. There's nothing bad about Aramusha. I mean, you got soft feint, light attacks. I mean, like, yeah, they can be problematic, but like they're not annoying. The ring the bell move is, sure, it's annoying at times, but it's nothing like terrible or like oppressive as hell to play against. I'd say Aramusha, you're like a solid person if you play Aramusha. That's about it. Diandi, you low-key might be a toxic person if you play Diandi. I'm not gonna lie to you. There is something about being able to dodge out of almost every single attack that you have that just makes you like low-key a bad person if you play him. I'm sorry, bro. The fact that this dude is just dodging and just spamming his dodge attacks is just extremely irritating, to say the least. Alright? He's annoying. Jang Jun, there's nothing offensively wrong with Jang Jun at all. I think Jang Jun is like a solid person, I'd say. Solid guy or cool person. Jang Jun players are usually extremely good at the game. You don't see them very often, depending on where your skill set is. But usually Jang Juns are really good at the game, and therefore pretty good people. I'd say they're a cool person. I'm not gonna lie to you. Nusha, Nuxia, however the hell you want to pronounce her name. I think Nusha, if you play her in like 4v4s, you're low-key a cool person. And you know what? I think I am gonna put them in cool person because her kit isn't offensively annoying if you know how to play against it. If you don't know how to counter the mix-ups with her grabs, then yeah, it is low-key annoying she's really annoying as shit to play against. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But when you get the hang of how to play against her and with her, then they're actually pretty good people. You'd understand that Nusha players are actually good people. Oh look. Do I have to explain myself? I feel like I don't have to explain why I think people who play this character are bad people, right? I don't think I had to explain why people who play Shaolin are low-key not good people, right? It's just that your bashes, the way how you're able to teleport behind people in Dominion, there's just so much that irks people about Shaolin that you kind of have to be put down here in this tier, or else it's not accurate at all. Anyways, next up we got Black Prior, and yeah, you're also a toxic asshole. Something about taking away somebody's revenge bar in the middle of a gang just screams, I hate you as a person. Just something about just taking away someone's hope and taking away the revenge mirror in the middle of a gang just screams, I don't like you as a person. And honestly, I don't know, because overall everything else about Black Prior is pretty cool. His bulwark stance is cool, his flip is cool. It's really just Oathbreaker that puts him down in this tier right now. If he never had Oathbreaker, I think he'd be like in solid guy tier. But no, because of Oathbreaker, he's down here. Anyways, next up we got Jormungandr. I'd say Yorm players are like solid people maybe. I don't see Yorm as like a particularly annoying or unfair character. He's like a brawler. In like its purest form, Jormungandr is a brawler character. He does nothing wrong, per se. Nothing particularly amazing, unless you're in tight spaces and he guard breaks you, then that's your ass. I won't lie to you. Then this character becomes absolute cancer to play against. I won't even lie to you. But overall, Jormungandrs I'd say are good people, more times than not. Hitokiri, we just like to press the heavy button, and because timed heavies are a thing, you're just going down here. I know Centurion has variable timed heavies, but the difference between him and Hitokiri is that you cannot spam his variable time heavies the same way you can spam Hitokiri's variable time heavies. So that's that. You know, Zanhu, I'm gonna be real with you, he's kind of like a basic character, but there are certain points where I'm like, yes, they mix me up well, but also they have a dodge that can hit in whatever direction they want to, just depending on the day they're feeling. And they also have an undodgeable light. Like, I don't know why they have an undodgeable light. And honestly, that alone makes me kind of want to put him like down here in this tier. But the rest of Zanhu's kit is really inoffensive, so you're probably just gonna be like in, I guess like annoying tier is fine, I guess. I don't necessarily like playing against Zanhu, I never do, because of the annoying undodgeable lights and the fact that you have two different dodgeable attacks, which is extremely annoying to play against. So yeah, I'll put Zanhu down here. Warmonger, you can't be a good person if you play Warmonger. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're like in toxic tier. I'm gonna be real with you. Not necessarily asshole tier, but something about using your corruption in the middle of team fights and giving everybody around you cancer just screams toxic. Well, just like her feats, right? But yeah, you can't be a good person if you play Warmonger, especially like if you're playing her in like Dominion or or Breach, or any of those other game modes. Next up, we have Griffin. Griffin's kit is actually pretty balanced, honestly. There's nothing inherently offensive about Griffin or Griffin players. They're usually big support players, which are honestly extremely cool and extremely valid. So yeah, I'd say you're actually a pretty cool person if you play Griffin. Again, his kit is perfectly balanced. Nothing about Griffin, in my opinion, screams, I want your family to die. So you know what? You're going in cool person tier. Kyoshin. I used to think that people who play Kyoshin were like solid people or cool people. But the more that I played against them, and I just recently played against a couple Kyoshins, I realized this playstyle that they have in sitting in Kaze stance and waiting for your opponent to react to you is extremely annoying and oppressive. And for that reason alone, I think you're probably going to go down to annoying. Kaze stance is fine, but like the way how people abuse Kaze stance of just sitting in and wait for their opponents to react is just extremely campy and annoying. You cannot be an 100% pure part person if you play Kyoshin. And honestly, same thing with Pirate. There's something about being able to just interrupt people in the middle of her own attacks by just pressing square after a whiff. There's just something extremely, like, just toxic about that, bro. She's been like the best duel character and best minion character for like the longest time, and I don't think that's ever really going to change. Anyways, back to our scheduled programming. We're back with Medjay, and I'm gonna be real with you. I think Medjays are actually invited to the function. The first invited to the function that we've gotten since Warden and Centurion, which is hilarious. There's literally almost nothing offensive about Medjay at all. Like, I'm dead ass. There's nothing wrong I can say about Medjay or offensive I can say about Medjay. He's a completely balanced hero in my opinion. Maybe a little on like the lower end of characters, but I'm not too sure about it because I don't face a lot of Medjays. But the Medjays I do fight against, they're fine people. Medjay himself is not like an extremely annoying character to go against in my opinion. Medjay players are actually good people. They're positive to society. Afira players are not. Something about her annoying dodges and mix-ups and just moving around the goddamn map like an absolute acrobat just screams, I can't fight you in neutral and I gotta have to be 3 feet away from you at all times. Kind of similar to Nobushi, but like she doesn't have bleed, so you know what, that makes her like slightly better. You know what? Because she doesn't have bleed, I'll put her in toxic tier. Next up, we have Ocelotl. Ocelotl has a very interesting moveset from his different feats to just his overall basic moveset with just being able to hit you with extreme pressure. But I wouldn't put him in solid guy though. He's still annoying if used correctly, but not like toxic or asshole like. He's still an annoying character, I won't lie to you. His lights can be extremely fast and annoying to play against, and if you're not guessing correctly with him or against him, you are not going to have a fun time at all. Varanian Guard, half of her stuff is like literally uninterruptible. You're going down here in toxic tier. That's like not even fair. Soheis though, I think Soheis are actually pretty cool people. I won't lie to you. Sohei is such a bad character, but if you get his gimmick to work, he's one of the most interesting and scariest characters in the game to fight against. But to get to that certain point, you have to be extremely good at the game in order to get him to at his 6 souls capacity consistently. It is extremely hard for Sohei to get to 6 souls. I'm not gonna lie to you. Next up, we got Khatoon. Again, she falls into that similar area of like you have to be extremely good at the game to play her. And you know what? She's actually invited to the function. One of the cooler and one of the more balanced assassins in my opinion, next to like Zerk and Nusha. I am quite a fan of Khatoon players. I'm not gonna lie to you, they're good people. So I'm looking at the bottom 3 right now, right? Can I just not do this? Is this not a perfectly reasonable thing to do? Well, if it is or isn't, I'm still gonna do it, and this is gonna be my explanation for them. Virtuosa, I think, speaks for herself. You literally cannot hit her half of the time. Her offense can be extremely annoying to play against, especially in 4s where she has stuff like the map long flash shield that she can just give to all of her teammates. The fact that her attacks can give you bleed, the fact that any halfway decent Virtuosa can stop you from guard breaking her in her stance, and the fact that she has like 3 different dodge attacks makes her like one of the most annoying characters in the game during team fights. Jiren, I mean, like, you can't be a good person who play Jiren, right? His main gimmick is his teammates have to die and he gets stronger. You succeed from your teammates being bad at the game. Does that not scream solo queue stomper? I mean, like, Jiren can literally save you an entire game by himself if his teammates are bad enough. It's crazy. Anyways, and then we have Arakure, which I'm gonna be real with you. There's just something about getting kicked in the nuts that screams, I hate the way you play this game. So yeah, that's it. Also, her mix-ups are really goddamn annoying, but I'm not gonna lie, that kick is really, really so stupid. Her mix-ups are also really solid as well, so yeah. You can't be a good person if you play any one of these 3 characters. I'm gonna be real with you. These are like probably like my least 3 favorite characters in the game right now. But anyways, that's my list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, comment about how this is literally the most incorrect tier list. I'll make sure to not read a single one of your comments. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Take care and say goodbye.
You know, boy, you don't shot this shit.
Yo, Kessie, this shit got me tripping.
Pull up to the crib. Like, basically, I'm about to just beat this nigga's ass. I'm gonna make these niggas stop playing with me.
Can you go porn, let them know that my hands really lethal? How many times did I see you? Twice, both of the times.